What's poppin', world? Back at it again with another video. Y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast. Yeah, once again, we got a controversial discussion that we got to talk about. Without further ado, y'all read the title, let's get right into it. So I was watching this video a couple of minutes ago, right? Just got done watching it. And it had me really thinking about how this whole Manosphere thing kind of blew up over the last couple to a few years. You know, I'm not an OG in the game like that, because initially I never really had, problems with females like that. It kind of got introduced to me from a homeboy. I used to, hit up every now and again, right? So when the whole high value man thing was kind of buzzing and stuff like that, and was just trying to say, oh, well, men's value go like this at a certain age, and women's value go like that at a certain age. I mean, it made sense, but I felt like it was disingenuous, right? I feel like men and women have been told a lie. And I'm gonna tell you this, I feel like there was a lie told, but then I felt like there was another lie told on top of that lie, and it overcorrected, and it left a couple of points I think that's very glaring that I want to bring to y'all, right? So let's get right into it. So the last point I was just making, as far as women after, they say that women's prime is from like age 19 to 26. And then, you go through geriatric pregnancy. If that's the right term. I'm just paraphrasing. Basically, women hit the wall at 35, and then they try to find Mr. Right after they didn't use their prime years messing with the wrong guys. I'm just giving y'all the whole Manosphere narrative, right? Now, I'm not saying the entire narrative. I'm just saying, like, just certain talking points that kind of gave men this reassurance that, hey, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's just something wrong with society. Here's the issue. That only applies to the high value man part, right? Now, what was a high value man? A guy making over six figures, which is 100,000 or more a year to get into the top 10% of earners in this country or the world, however you want to put it, right? Big issue with that. If you actually Google the top 10% of earners, is actually 200,000. Now that might have moved up, but I'm pretty sure it ain't jumped up from 100,000 to 200,000, regardless of how much inflation this came across over a span of 5 years, right? And now I'm about to address the real issue with this. If you are not a guy earning, let's say 150, 120, anywhere in between there, right? 120 are up in this economy, and you're proclaiming yourself like, hey, I could just be in my 40s and, I'm still have access to younger women because I'm a man and I'm an age like wine. I'm gonna tell y'all the problem with that. Yes, if you're a top 10% earner, you do have a lot more bandwidth as far as reinventing yourself in the dating scene, right? Hence being, you're gonna have to freaking pay females to rock with you. If you ain't got no game, no charisma, things that's already you had in your earlier years. So if it wasn't working in your earlier years, what makes you think getting older is gonna, the only thing you can gain out of getting older is experience. which enhances those things. So charisma, as far as dressing, growing up, maturing, attaching or adapting new characteristics that are seem more favorable and ideal. Okay, but I'm gonna just give y'all an example. If you're a general manager at Walmart, making about $65,000 a year, and you're 38 years old, and you're talking about, oh well, I don't have to put up with certain kind of women because I'm a man. And so you mean to tell me that if you're 38, the woman is 38, you're gonna have more value to her because with your $65,000 a year ass, gonna just pick up a 23-year-old that's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's so attractive, right? That only applies 10%. So it's 10%. If you look, that's 1 out of 10 available. We're not talking about married or, in a relationship. We're talking about 1 out of 10 available, single, right? Guys that, how can I say? Think that they can wait until their 40s and then pick up a 23, 25-year-old. If you're not making that money, bruh, that 40, you're just dating your range, bruh. Now, I'm not saying you can't get somebody that's younger, but I'm saying the probability, the likelihood of you getting somebody that's younger in comparison to somebody that's of your age, the odds are stacked against you. And this is just to address, this is glaring. This is something that has been fade into the manosphere. Self-improvement, getting yourself right. Let's be honest, man. Everybody ain't striving for that. I feel like if you're in your 20s now, yes, stay active, stay motivated. But you hit that 30 wall, and I'm talking about as a man, you hit that 30 wall. That's when the light bulb comes on, like, all right, I gotta get my stuff together. If it ain't already got together already. You have from 30 to 35. 30 to 35. Now, if you got good genetics, like for instance, I'm 32. I live like I'm 32. I'm treating myself like I'm 32. I mean, I look like I'm 32, but I'm not giving that an excuse for me to waste time, and try to pretend like I'm still in my 20s. This is a message for the younger guys and the older guys, particularly the younger guys. They got the most room to make the most adjustments. And what I'm telling y'all is, y'all can't act as if that part that I feel like that gets overlooked. If you're making average money, now look, they got this, 80% of women is only chasing the top 20% of guys, and then that's bull. That's bull. That's bull. If you talking about earning, yeah, gold diggers. I'll tell you this right now. If a woman finds out her type, she not gonna sit up there and if she finds her type, she is not going to jump ship for a person that's considered an alternative of her likeness just because the person earns more. The guy has to mess up. It's up to the guy to mismanage his position, to let somebody that's on the surface unqualified, on the surface, for him to be able to have a chance. If he's doing what he's supposed to do, which, if it's your type, she's liking you for all things that's not even in your control. Your personality, your character, things that are already just given to you. You don't have to be something that you already are. You just got to maintain it. Be real, be you, be yourself. You're not going to lose it. Or that alpha male, beta male. There's dudes that wouldn't even bust a grape in a fruit fight and still keep that girl just because that's her type. She don't care about the she'll sit up there and lie to herself about, say that, let's keep it 100. And I'm just talking about generally. On the surface, do women like masculinity? Sure, right? But the one thing they like over masculinity is connectivity. If you connect to that woman, regardless of how attracted and over heels that she may seem for another person, that she's not, for her to actually do something about it, she won't be able to go through with it. Why? She's too invested. Not only she's harming that person, but she's harming herself by doing something that she don't even got the stomach for, because that's not in her to even do that, even though on paper it seems like the better decision to make. I'm just being honest. So that's pretty much my main point of the video, is that you're not making 120 bands in this economy. I mean, unless you got some other things working for you. Don't lean on that, hey, I'm a man, I'm gonna wait till I'm 35 to find a 25-year-old. Unless you got that paper, you got some swag, you got some charisma, you got some insight, you got some intellect, you got some wisdom, you got some insight, you got all the things that a female will be looking for towards a guy that has that age range. If you're 35, but you're still living like you're 25, and you're looking at it like, oh, well, woe is me. You can't sit up there and be like, all the women are trash. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, man. This is how the incel, situation even came about in the first place. People not getting outside, not being social, mismanaging their time, being nerds, being introverts, not sitting up there testing the boundaries and limits, just staying to themselves, sitting up there playing video games and eating Cheetos and getting fat, not going to the gym and not being motivated and not being around other guys, testing your testosterone levels. You feel me? First word of testosterone is test. You feel me? You got to test yourself to build yourself. So if you just secluded and isolated and, you're by yourself, you ain't got no friends, you don't go out, you don't get into arguments and debates and always trying to build and make a better version of yourself, you can't sit up there and blame the women on why they don't want you if you're not placing yourself in a space to where you can be defeated. People are afraid of defeat. That's why they can't get victory, because defeat and victory is in the exact same opportunity space. You can't be placed in one situation without being placed in the other at the same time. It's a duality opportunity situation. And all I'm just sitting up there saying is that